much better it is to have your dreams on Sunday aisle? Because they're really fun to go visit and talk to. But it's another thing to actually do that thing. And when I wrote that book, my very first book called Greatness in Children, Learn the Rules, and it was so widely loved and accepted, it transformed my life. I've written 20 since then. But it was all because my mother said, it's time to step up, which takes us to the T, which is take action. Girls, talk is one thing, and it's wonderful, and I love to talk. But taking action on everything that we know that we need to do, whether it's inviting someone that we think needs to be there. I had a woman one time, I went to Dallas, Texas, and we were opening a new chapter, and I was working with the leader there, and she was just scared. I don't know how to invite people. I don't know. I said, well, it's easy. I got a little magazine, and I opened it up, and I said, watch. I'll just call people up. Say hi. We're going to have this chapter here, and I'd love to invite you and love to send you some information and all that. So I wanted to see how easy it was. Well, I got hold of this one woman, and she said she was a music teacher in the little magazine. And I thought, we don't have a music teacher. How cool is that? She taught adults and children. And I said, let's invite her. So when I get her, she immediately says, why'd you call me? Now, have you ever felt like, could I backtrack? Well, you see, I'm here, and I was looking at the magazine, and I saw your music. I'm talking as fast as I can. She goes, no. I mean, why'd you call me now? And I couldn't understand what she was asking, because she seemed to be forceful about it. And I couldn't figure out, is she mad? Or what is it? And I said, I'm so sorry to have interrupted you. She said, no, darling, you don't understand. I'm 67 years old. I just lost my husband. He was my life. And she says, I've been sitting in my house for a month with the blinds drawn, thinking about ways I could die. And she said, I don't know anybody. I don't have anybody. She said, I want to know why you called me right now, because I just got off my knees. And I just started sobbing. I was like, come. She came that night, and I mean, immediately made a new family and had women that absolutely adored her and loved her. I had a young woman who was 17 years old, and her mother died when she was 10 of cancer. And she said, I want to create a company that honors my mother's legacy and makes money for cancer. And I said, okay, how can I help you? And so she had this dessert she wanted to make, and I helped her with packaging and business cards and all kinds of stuff. And you know, I'm not that good, but I could get her started, right? And so we did all of this work, and then her father, who was a surgeon, said, what does she do now? I mean, here you built up all of her hopes and dreams, and she's, 17 years old. What does she do now? She's a junior in high school. And I said, don't worry about it. Took her to the HeartLink, and I introduced her to all the women. I said, this is a young entrepreneur, and this is what she's doing, and this is why. They immediately fell in love, and then we had a real graphic artist who did her packaging and her cards and all of that sort of thing, and an accountant that stepped up to help her, and all of these women who just embraced her and loved her. And she went home that night, woke up her dad crying, saying, I have never felt that. Mom died at 10. I love you, Daddy, and I love my brother, but I've never had women love me. That's what the HeartLink is all about. She had her father call me the next month, and she said, my dad has a big house, and I want to be a leader. I said, honey, you can't be a leader. I was telling her dad, she wants to be a leader. I said, she can't be a leader. She's 17. You have to be 18 to even sign an agreement. She can't be a leader. So he goes, honey, Dawn says you can't be a leader because you have to be 18. She goes, Dawn said, you can dream the biggest dream that you can dream. Dawn said, don't let anybody get in your way. She said, so what I have to say is that's Dawn's problem, not mine. So what I had done is I had met this woman, this chiropractor, who was just an absolute dream, but she had a severely handicapped child, and she wanted to be a leader for the HeartLink in the worst way. But her child was so handicapped that, you had those things that you lift the child in and move them around the house, and there was just no way that she could have it in her home. So I called her up and I said, I want you to meet a young woman and her father. And she said, okay. They went to lunch. She became a surrogate mother. They opened a chapter together. And when this young woman, she did the entire senior year of high school. And when she applied for college, she said she was taken in the first draft. They wrote her a letter and said, one of the reasons that we took you was because of your leadership position with women in your community. Because everybody makes good grades, right? That's what we're talking about. When we talk about the heart of success, success is that little word on the end. Heart is that great big word in the beginning. So I just wanted to share that that's the whole purpose behind the HeartLink Network. Now in 3 years, we have come a long way. In those 3 years, we've not only launched the HeartLink Network, but we have launched 2 online directories. The reason that we did this is because we couldn't find women. Let's say we go into a community, and it's a brand new community, it's never seen a HeartLink, and women would say, how do I find women? Have you ever wondered that? How do I find wonderful women? Do you know that there's every kind of online site, if you want to find a really kind of cross-eyed, spiky-headed boy of some sort, you can find them because there's 152 sites to find somebody. But if you want to find a fabulous professional woman who you can be friends with, or you can partner with, or you can do something, you know, go to the movies with, or whatever, where do you do that? It's really hard. So I started looking at women directories because I thought, oh, surely, I mean, come on, this is 2010. Surely there's something wonderful out there. And they were awful. They were heartless. They were colorless. They were boring. They're linear. Do you guys think I've ever had a linear thought in my life? I mean, for the linear people, they were, you know, but I said there's got to be a better way. Let's make them special and fabulous, and let's have little beautiful pink women standing on their little, you know, Laguna Niguel. Let's have fun. Let's have, if you want to go find people, you can find somebody. If you want to say, oh, what's a wonderful restaurant in my area? What are women doing in my community? And I could just call them up and say, I found you on. And I decided we would name it Trova. Because my kids are Italian, and I wish I were, and that's why I married their Italian father. And Trova in Italian means find. Well, wouldn't it be cool to find each other? So we launched this directory. We launched one for men and women businesses, but we launched one that we focused on. That was the Trova Women Business Directory. And just since our launch, if you go to Google or any other search engine and you type in Women Business Directory, Business Women Directory, out of 68 million results, we are number 2 or 3 on the front page. So that's pretty significant, a pretty significant tool that we're now utilizing to benefit. And what we do is we say, now, leaders, what we want you to do is, instead of women having to pay for this advertising, because it's expensive, because we give women mini websites. If you have a website, great, you can attach this to it. It hooks to Facebook and Dig and Twitter and all kinds of, you know, with one push of a button. You can put video on it, you can put pictures on it, you can put all kinds of information on it. But if you don't have a website, then we have one for you, and it will be hosted. And we give it to women if they prepay in our attendance appreciation special. If they simply prepay for a year to attend and play with their wonderful friends, then they get $1,000 worth of advertising for free. Which is, how much better can that be, right? Then we had several people call us, and had an attorney actually call us a year and a half ago, and he said, I had a gentleman call me and he wanted to bring a suit against you because you don't allow men to come to your meetings. This is a very litigious society, you know? And I said, oh, come on, this isn't the Girl Scouts. You know, I mean, this is women. This is built on the female endocrine system. He said, well, I told him that it would really be a ridiculous suit. It would cost him a lot of money, and he probably doesn't want to pursue it. But it's something that you might want to think about. You know, how can you take this model and sort of amalgamate it so that you can include men? So Sherry and I put our heads together, and we thought, okay, that's a good idea. So we are just pre-launching. As of today, the website goes up, Trova Business Network. And it's for men and women. And all of our HeartLink leaders get to be Trova leaders if they want to, at no additional cost. This is just something that you can now include men, and sometimes a little more brick and mortar businesses. It's a little, you know, the other thing that we added is that when, I don't ever like to do a Me Too. You know, I want to do something different. Like with HeartLink, I built it on the female endocrine system because in school my side studies were neurophysiology and personality. And I thought, I'm going to make something that's so girly. I mean, so pink. In fact, I had one woman call up, and have you ever had these women that they're strictly business? And I really respect that. I don't understand it, but I really respect it. And because I always want to hug and kiss, and you know, what do you mean strictly business? And so she called me up, she goes, okay, she said, just tell me one thing. I don't want this to be some like pink, giddy, happy little, you know, social club. And I was like, oh, you don't want to be a part of the HeartLink. I got a couple of recommendations for you that I think these clubs would be really good. But yeah, we're real pink, we're real giddy, and we're real happy to see each other. So yeah, you've just named us right there. But Trova, what we wanted to do is we wanted to take business networking, kind of more traditional, double it, because most times you get 30 minutes to a minute, and so in Trova you get 2 minutes. And then the next thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to create a professional think tank. Now, how many of you have thought, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool if I could have a room full of people who are all dedicated to helping me grow my business? All their experience, education, knowledge, whatever. Well, that's what we get to do with the think tank, because we investigated think tanks. We found out that there are CEOs and executives who pay $1,000 to $10,000 a month to be a part of a professional think tank. And they scream about them. They're just like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't know any small business owners that can afford that. So we figured out how to get the best of it and do it really, really inexpensively. And then every member also gets online advertising, because we know we not only need to be high touch, but we need to be high tech. And what I want you to know today is that we are so committed, and my girls that have been with me for 3 years, and there are many of them here that have been with me since the beginning, no, I don't stop. I just keep trying to figure out ways that we can enhance and improve what we're offering so that it has real value and makes real sense to people. So thank you for being with the HeartLink. Thank you for being on my team. Thank you for making what I do in my life matter and have any real meaning and value, because without my leaders, the HeartLink is nothing. So thank you very much.